Welcome in, y'all, as today we're breaking down the New York Giants schedule for this upcoming season. This is the first team of the NFC East, all AFC teams, and about half the NFC at this point I've covered. You can check those out on my channel. But let's jump right into it for the Giants. This is a team this year that they're not very good. Let's be honest, they're not very good. The roster's not great, but they're all right. You know, they're still bottom third, even bottom quarter of the league for sure. But what really hurts this team is this schedule. Those first, 12, 13, the entire thing. There's like 2, 3 games on here that are against lesser opponents or not very great opponents. I mean, your first 4 weeks, you have all playoff contenders. 3 of those 4 should almost certainly be in the playoffs. Then week 6, 7, 8, 9, you have 4 almost certain playoff teams. Niners can be debated. Then you have Bears, which, they should be a lot better. You have the Packers, who should be really good. The Lions, they're great. Patriots should be improved. Washington again. Minnesota had 14 wins last year. And then Vegas and Dallas to close it out. So, wow. Unbelievable schedule, but let's jump into it. Week 1 at Washington. I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I think it's a loss. However, I will say I think this one is closer than you would expect. I think they're underdog by about 7. They played them in close games last season, and I like their situation a bit better for the Giants this year. So be careful with that one. I don't know that that's going to be a blowout. Week 2 in Dallas. This is one that's, Dallas is a bit of a question mark this year. Maybe they jump on them early in the season here, but I don't love the spot. I think Giants go 0-2. And then you're like, oh boy, they're home, finally. Home opener, Chiefs. That's a tough one. Although the Chiefs have been known, or last year at least, to play all their games close, or majority of their games, even against bad teams. So it's Sunday Night Football, home opener. Maybe the crowd gets them revved up and they keep this one close and heck, even take it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised of all the upsets to pick out there. I think this is a very possible one, but I can't in good faith take the Giants in the preseason to win this game. Week 4, another chance at a win here. Chargers traveling coast to coast, very long flight, and what should be a 1 Eastern game. But really, I don't think... Yeah, I think the Chargers are too good. I think they beat them in what I think is a lower scoring game there in Week 4. Week 5, they head to New Orleans in the Superdome, and here I think they get on the board with a win. I think they get their first of the season. These are 2 bad teams, but the Giants are definitely the better of the 2, and they move to 1-4. Then Week 6, you get rewarded with a nice little... I can't remember. They do play Thursday night against the Eagles. I can't remember if it's Week 6 or Week 8, but they do play Thursday night. Can't remember which one it is. But regardless, I don't think it'll matter. I will take the Eagles. Eagles are just too good, honestly, in that spot to lose. Broncos, I think the defense absolutely shuts down the Giants. I don't know that the Giants even get to 10 points in this game, and they lose again to the Eagles. So that's tough. 1-7. And yeah, you can try to argue, but if you're going to look at this schedule as a Giants fan and tell me you think you'll be better than 1-7 at this point, I'd be a bit surprised. I think you could argue 2-6. Maybe you sneak one of those out, but man, that's brutal. Week 9, home against the Niners. Here's where I have an upset pick here. It's an upset for multiple reasons. Now, if this was like a pick-em game for this week, I'm probably taking the Niners, but I'm going to look for spots to take upsets in the preseason because they happen all the time. If the favorite won every game, it wouldn't be any fun. There'd be no point in predictions. I could just go and pick the favorite for every game. So I think this is an interesting upset spot. The Giants' record will make them look way worse than they actually are at 1-7. And the Niners, they definitely got worse in the offseason. They should be a bit back to form, but they got worse, and the injury bug could get them again. Injury-prone teams tend to stay injury-prone if they keep similar players. So, Week 9, by that point, Niners could have some injuries. Who knows if McCaffrey will even make it that far in the year. So give me the Giants in an upset there. And then I think they get their hopes crushed in Week 10. They lose on the road to Chicago, fall to 2-8. Then they get the Packers at home, a chance here to get a win. You have a home game, Packers. It's another one of those possible ones. I think the Giants are a team that any home game, I think that they have a chance in, but I will take Green Bay. I'll take them to lose on the road in the Dome in Detroit. Should still be a great Lions team this year. And then week 13 in New England, what is currently slated as a Monday Night Football game. We'll see if that stays or if it gets flexed out. Leaning towards a flex out if the Giants' record truly is 2-10, but we will see. And I just think the Patriots have it. I think it being in prime time does no favors for the Giants, but I do think that could be a really close game. I think the Giants, skill-wise, could keep that one close and even win it on the road. Week 15, another one here. Washington, be careful. Giants might get you here. They played them close last year, but I can't take them. I'm sorry, Giants fan. I really am, because I wanted them to do a bit better than this, but the schedule just isn't allowing it. And at this point in the season, you're almost in tank mode, because you know what you see over the horizon. Over the horizon, you see Arch Manning in the draft. And if you're a GM, your team's 2-11, 2-12, you're like, oh God, please do not win these games, if I'm going to be honest. But unfortunately, the players don't necessarily care about that draft pick. Week 16, I do think they fall to the Vikings. I think the Vikings should be pretty good. However, I think this is one of their best chances to get a win this year. I love the Vikings roster. I think it's one of the best in the league, but McCarthy is still unproven, and road games for rookie quarterbacks are tough, so that's definitely a possible one. Week 17 on the road in Vegas, no rhyme or reason to it. I think they steal one here. And then week 18, that is showing them on the road in Dallas. I believe that is their home game. This shows 2 road for some reason, but I believe this week 18 is the home game against Dallas, and a true upset pick here. I will take the Giants over the Cowboys in Cowboy fashion. I think they might falter there, maybe think they have something wrapped up and don't. Who knows? Cowboys are a bit of a mixed bag coming into this year. Not sure how I feel about them. But 4-13 is the final record for the Giants, which, whatever, because they're not going to make the playoffs this year with this schedule and this roster. So as if you're a fan of them, I still encourage you to root for every game. Even with the good draft picks ahead, you hate to root for your team to lose. But with every loss comes the silver lining of we are one step closer to a nice elite quarterback from the draft. Although they do still have Jackson Dart on the team. Is he their guy? I mean, maybe. But it's hard to say you do have this type of record and Jackson Dart plays okay. Say he comes in midway through the year and he plays like solid. He looks good. But are you really going to pass on like an Arch Manning? I don't know. It's a good quarterback draft coming up here. And I think a lot of teams are going to be looking for their franchise guys. So I don't know if we'll see tanking. Again, tanking is tough because the players are out there to win, and you know that. And coaches don't often want to lose either. It's usually just the GMs up in the room probably hoping their team loses. So it's really hard to say. But anyways, 4-13 final prediction for the Giants. A little wiggle room maybe, but it's just a brutal schedule. It's going to be a tough year in New York for probably both New York football teams. So let me know what y'all think, and we'll cover the Philadelphia Eagles in the next one.